Now that's awesome. That is not my opinion. That is actually the tagline of this car. This is the third generation of the Toyota Vellfire, codenamed AH40. The price of this car is rupees 1.59 crores for this variant, which is the top variant, which is known as VIP Executive Lounge. This car comes courtesy of Ramesh Tours and Travels here in Bangalore. They have a crazy collection of cars. And obviously they have the Vellfire, they have the V-Class, they even have something known as the Toyota Grand Ace. So yes, if you're looking for a car on rent, or rather a luxury car on rent in Bangalore, Ramesh Tours and Travels is the way to go. Anyways, this is the key of the vehicle. But before that, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve Lavender Forest. It actually has lavender oil, which is amazing because it kind of soothes you. Yes, along with that, it also makes you feel relaxed. It pampers you. And you can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Click on the top right corner of the screen right now. Coming to the Vellfire, well, this is an amazing car because it's all about luxury. In fact, it has its own logo. Yes, the Vellfire gets its own logo like the Alphard, but the Toyota logo in the center is the same as before. The key is the same as other Toyota cars. Lock the car, unlock the car, and this is to open the sliding doors, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. Yeah, it kind of feels premium. Straight away, let's open the engine bay because it's sort of a Camry on steroids, and there is the engine which is hidden right behind. So it's pushed all towards the cabin because obviously it is a, how do I call it? It's a cab forward sort of a design. So there's not much space in the engine bay. Washer fluid goes in here. In fact, I can't even find the battery of the vehicle. Where is the battery? Is it lost or something? Why does it say slide? And there is insulation there, but it does not get gas struts at all. The front end design is very bold. In fact, this car is taller by 50 when compared to the previous generation model. And since the price is 1.59 crores, 21 lakhs goes into the registration of this car because this is a CBU. 4.35 lakhs is for the first year insurance of this car. Look at it, it's so freaking tall, lot of chrome. Those are 7 slats right there. The massive Toyota logo, 4 parking sensors. This has this chromish treatment, but this is sort of golden chrome. There's a front parking camera here. That is the indicator which gets the dynamic swipe function, but on the other side, it is actually the DRL and it has this crystal effect to it. These are 3 LED lights here, sort of projectors. Yeah, it is actually projector. This is the high beam. These are for the low beam. It gets front fog lamps, again LED, a chrome treatment here, and there is a lot happening. In fact, when you come to the side, you realize the size of this car is massive because the length has increased by 60 This car is 5 meters in terms of length. The wheelbase is 3 meters and the ground clearance is not there at all because it kind of feels like it's almost touching the ground. Wheels look nice actually. These are 19-inch wheels. The size of the tires happen to be 225/55 19s. It says HEV here, which means hybrid electric vehicle. There's a camera here. There's also a light projection coming out from here. You obviously get a lane keep assist camera along with a rain sensor. And this car is quite long, but it gets the Vellfire logo here. Even the Alphard gets it here. And nice chrome treatment. So much chrome. Look at the amount of chrome they have put. It's absolutely crazy. This is super big. That door is like really very long. In fact, this is the channel for the sliding part of things, and this sort of an aero treatment. Again, chrome at the rear. The design is actually very bulky at the rear, and it seems to be all LED. So this is obviously LED. It says Vellfire here. The chrome treatment continuing along with the continuous light treatment as well. Dynamic swipe indicators. I think reverse is somewhere here. You get 4 parking sensors at the rear. Lot of chrome. In fact, executive lounge has been written right there. This is a reflector, this is the towing hook, and the exhaust of the vehicle, it is right below. Yes, it is hidden. It's not showcased to the world at all. There's a rear spoiler with a high mounted stop lamp, and it even has a shark fin antenna. In fact, this car is actually taller than me. Straight away, let's open the boot. You don't open it from here. That is for manual. In order to open the boot, there are buttons here. So you press this button and then the boot opens. Yes, it's a powered tailgate. It's a very unique and different way of how Toyota does things, but it is what it is. Just press this button to shut it as well. I've actually put the seat down because you cannot operate it with one hand. You need both your hands to operate this particular seat. So this is kept up. This has been put down and there's a light placement here. There happens to be a USB-C charging socket right there. Some amount of storage space, sun blind, everything is actually electric. And this is for the center passenger who usually does not get ahead. Take that and get lost. Anyways, let me put this up. So using this, I can pull the seat up and I'll show you something very interesting. So this is upright. There's an armrest here. Great. But what if you drive with the tailgate open? Firstly, there are multiple speakers. Look at that, asymmetrical because there's one here. So if you want to probably have the most luxury and comfort, you're going to pop your head out from here, because I'm going to show you something which is absolutely crazy. Look at the amount. It folds flat. What will happen? Tell me. You will be out of the car. So Toyota has not really thought about this, but look at that. Isn't that crazy? Completely flat. Now you can actually push this seat ahead and behind if you want. That's also possible because there's a lever here. So everything is manual for the third row passengers, because nobody really cares about the third row passengers. To put it up, there it goes. Yeah, I have to like make it more upright, otherwise the boot will not shut. And to remove it now, you have to use both your hands and then put this down, remove this strap. It's actually a cumbersome process. You've got multiple buttons here. What does this button do? It actually lets you move the second row seats. So I'm actually putting it like this. I can move it ahead and behind as well. You can do all that from the third row, or rather from the boot if you want. This is actually logical, because you can do that if you want to increase the space in this particular row. How do I push this ahead? By using this lever and then giving this a shove. Yeah, there's the channel, and pull it back. Yes, it moves. And how? So you can do this for both the sides of the seats. A lot of electronics in this car, but this is a Toyota, which means the electronics will work for like ever. There is no spare wheel. Yeah, at least I can't find a spare wheel. And really soft carpet here. So this is where the seat actually sits, and the car just turned on at the moment. Let me shut the boot, which means I have to press a button here. You have to learn a lot about this car. You simply can't just sit in it and be like, okay, let me make a video on it. Yeah, there's a learning curve involved, because it is extremely complex, super complex a car. But the Vellfire is love, trust me on this. Now, fuel goes in right here. It says eco, which actually improves the fuel efficiency of this car. In order to open the door, either I pull it or I just press this button. And once I do that, the door opens very smoothly and nicely. Seats are super comfortable because this is the VIP executive lounge. I press a button here and there opens the cup holder very smoothly. There are no door pockets here because the door pockets can't function only. I want to get into the rear seat. How do I do that? I use this lever, and now I can just push this seat all the way ahead, and now I can get in, which is very easy. There I am, and I'm just going to sit here quietly, because space in the third row is actually very impressive. Under the support is never the best. Headroom seems to be adequate enough, and there is actually a microphone here. Is it so that third row passengers can talk to the first row passengers? Who knows? I can use this to push the seat ahead, which means that third row passengers actually have a lot of control. And if this is pushed all the way ahead, look at the amount of space. It's absolutely mind-blowingly phenomenal. Some storage space here, obviously cup holders have been given, and soft material. This is for what? This is for the sun blind. Yes, I can put the sun blind up and down electrically. There's a hook, there's a handle, proper seat belt, and I think there's a light as well. But this car's only got 6 airbags. Isn't that less for a car which is so big? So there's going to be a curtain airbag. There are going to be 2 airbags at the front, and that's about it. I need more airbags. I am sure about that. Here, you get some storage space. So it's sort of a sunglass holder. There's a light placement here on the top. Okay, this is the light, and there is ambient lighting, which is so cool. AC vents have been placed here on both the sides. Again, really nicely done. The light shuts. Does it or not? I don't know. Now it shuts, so multiple light modes. There's actually another storage here for your sunglasses. And let me push this seat back into place. I can do it from here. What, I can pull it? No, I cannot pull it. So this is something you need to get used to. What I can do best is use this button to actually call this seat back. Come on. Has the car turned off or something?
A few minutes later.
Okay, this is not working. I'm telling you now, there's a big learning curve when you drive this car. AC controls have been given on the top, so you can operate the air conditioning from here, which for variously weird reasons is not working. Maybe there's a child lock enabled. In fact, there are a lot of buttons here. So I can open the side shade. Okay, this is the shade. I can open both the sides, the shade from here, and I can shut it as well. Everything is electric. Okay, and then I can open the door also from here. So many things can be done from the top. In fact, there's so many places to actually open and close the doors, which is absolutely crazy. And this is to open the windows. So if I want to open the window, there I can do that. And then the sun blind is also opening. It doesn't go all the way down, but look at the size of the window. It's like a train. Look at this handle. It is so big. It's so big. It's huge. And then I can open the roof shade from here. So it has got 2 sunroofs on either side. So we're going to open that as well to get some airiness inside this cabin. The problem here is that the earlier model had two sunroofs, one at the front, one at the rear. This one has a different kind, so the driver doesn't really enjoy the sun anymore, which is disappointing. It's telling me the time right now, but AC controls here. Again, light controls have been given on the top. This car has so many buttons. Now, trust me on this, you're going to get super duper confused. And you can change the color of the ambient lighting from here. Is that true? One second, I wanted to shut this. Why is it still on? Yes, let's try and change the colors. Oh my god, there I can change the colors. It has got, I think, 14 prefed colors and there are 64 colors. What an easy way to change colors, which is quite unbelievable. Can increase and decrease the brightness from here. Okay, the lights have turned on again. Now let me get out from here because I'm just struggling, and we are out. Let's put this seat back into place, which means that I use this button here and I push it behind. So many buttons in this car now, you will lose track of what button to press where. And this is a VIP seat. It looks like a VIP seat. It behaves like a VIP seat. It's just amazing. So let's step inside and let me show you there's a lot more here to play around with. First and foremost, there are buttons here on the side. So this is for seat ventilation. This is for seat heating. And then I can get into the massage from here. I can reset the seat. All that can be done from here itself. Here you have got some storage space, HDMI button. This is a dummy, I don't know for what. And there's another storage box here. This is a car or a cupboard, I don't know. But the problem is that Toyota always decides to ruin the fun of this passenger by putting the battery right below the front co-passenger seat. And this is the seat which actually has boss mode, so you can actually move this ahead. However, this seat can't be moved because the driver is going to be under jeopardy, which means that the battery placement is completely wrong because you can't get the best space here and you can't move that seat. So what is Toyota doing? That is so wrongly done, putting the battery right below the co-passenger seat. In fact, it says do not step here, but there's good amount of space once you put the seat ahead. Not really scooped out, there are magazine holders here, AC vents right there, and height adjustable seat belts as well. This is so big now. In fact, there is also a hook right here, and I love the fact that it brings in airy feeling right on top of me. And what is this? I don't know half the features in this car. It is so freaking confusing. Okay, there's good amount of space here, a lot of buttons. So like I was telling you, you can heat your seat, you can cool your seat, you can move your seat in multiple ways as well. And that's not all, you can get into massage. But come on, we need a screen, and we've got two of them. Yes, one and two. How do these screens work? First and foremost, I can press a button here to remove this. This is like a phone, and it has got multiple things to play around with. This is made by Sharp, and it is actually quite sharp. So these are multiple modes, so I can get into dream, relax, focus. So let's say I decide on focus, so it is going to give me cool air conditioning and refreshing lighting, and along with that I can decide on the massage as well. You can change so many things here. So how do I remove the ottoman? Yes, I want to remove the ottoman by pressing a button here. Okay, I'm getting so confused right now. There it is coming out, which means under thigh support is never an issue here, and it is memory enabled seat. Okay, this it's so freaking amazing. I can save up to 2 people settings. Now this is completely up. I feel so comfortable and relaxed already. I can extend it. I can do a lot of stuff from here. I can get into comfort and change stuff. I can get into relaxation to turn on the massage. And they are weekly and firmly massages. I don't know what that means, but firm is, I think, a little hard, and the weekly one is a little soft. I'm just going to turn it off right now because it makes me feel itchy while making a video. I can actually open all the blinds from here. Yes, I can open all of them. I can decide, okay, I want to open this. There it opens. It's, yeah, there it is opening actually. So everything you can do from here, which is quite amazing and mind-blowing. So both of you, the rear seat passengers, have their own screens or phones to play around with, and it has a very expansive menu. It's a slick system, but there should have been a screen here. Well, there is. For that, I need to get into the, okay, give me a bit of time to figure this out. This is called a smart control. Let's come back from here. I am so freaking confused. Even though I have been practicing this since morning. Oh, I turned off the screen. I'm so stupid. Where is the freaking screen? It is probably in the audio system. No, nope, 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 nope. There, I press this button, and there the screen pops out, which seems to be a 15-inch unit. It's not a touch screen. It says make sure you're belted up, blah blah blah. And in order to go through this screen, it's taking some time to load. I have to use this only, the menu, so I can go up down from here. It's a boring menu, just like how Toyota does most of its infotainment. So let's just shut this as well because we don't need it right now. So I'm just going to press a button and we are going to shut it. So rear HDMI and all those things have been given. Now this is so nicely done. It's unfreaking believable. Let's put this back into place. It actually slots in here, so then it can obviously charge as well. What a comfortable car, absolutely mind-blowing. And the dashboard is huge, it's massive. This car is super comfortable and luxurious. Who needs a freaking Range Rover when you have something like this? Yeah, I've put this up, easy to slide, easy to move everything. But now I'm sitting at the rear. Obviously I want to do all the other work. How do I do that? Firstly, this has isofix child seat mounts, really comfortable foam seats, and it obviously has memory functions as well. Meanwhile, here is a table. Yes, that's right, there's also a freaking table right here. This is small. I can open it like this to actually see a mirror too. Isn't that freaking super cool? Mind blowing to say the least. The kind of comfort and luxury Toyota has put now. Who honestly needs a Range Rover if you have all this in a Toyota car? Because reliability is obviously assured here. Look at the treatment here. It has actually got a 14 or 15 speaker JBL sound system as well. If you notice, there's a big handle to hold on to here as well. Isn't this over the top, the kind of handles this car has? Not to shut the door, I can just pull it like this and there it shuts. Very smooth in the way it operates. So yes, the rear seat is the real highlight of this car. Meanwhile, the indicators functioning here. Look at the quarter glass. That is also so big. Everything in this car is just insanely huge. If you want to spend a lot more money, well, you have the option of the LM, which is a more premium version of this car, which is already super duper premium. I love the way how the outside rear view mirrors have been done. Let's get inside because there's a lot for the driver to also play around with. For starters, let's use the memory function to move the seats, which is not happening only because the car says key is not detected. So car, here is your key and behave yourself now. Let's move it. I don't think I managed to save any setting only for the memory function, so that's not moving right now. But this seat is obviously powered, 8-way powered driver's seat, and the steering wheel is also electric here, so I can just move it like this. Meanwhile, this is to open the fuel lid, this is to turn off the power doors, and this is for the adaptive lights, so the ADAS light thingy. This is to open the hood of the vehicle, and there's a proper dead pedal as well. Pedal is like the brake pedal is actually very thick somehow, and look at the kind of insulation they have done to ensure that this car doesn't bring in much noise on the inside. There's actually a heads up display as well. This dashboard is huge in terms of size. I'm going to put this seat behind so everyone can play with this particular seat, which is a bit frustrating for the person who sits right there. There are a lot of controls here. Why there are so many controls? Firstly, the glove box is lockable, but the glove box is like really very small. That's not big. Leather treatment, everything is soft. In fact, you have got cup holders here, which is thoughtful because it's also there on that side. Has this continuous chrome treatment running through the dashboard. The dashboard is like 3 kilometers long because the engine sits right below. Love the soft materials. Auto dimming mirror, obviously. There's a sunglass holder here. Meanwhile, these are the controls to open the sliding doors and the boot. SOS button. I can open the side shades from here or the roof shades from here. So I can open and close the shades from here itself, and I can open the doors as well from here itself, which gives me complete control as a driver. And from here I can turn on the lights, I can decide how I want the door lights and all. Lot of stuff. It has connected car stuff as well. Here you get a mirror along with light. This is velvet finish. It's smooth, but it does not extend at all. Meanwhile, there is this slit here so that you can put your toll receipts. In fact, there's no slit on that side. The big massive screen in the center is 14-inch in terms of size. It's a boring screen because there's not much inside the screen, just like is the case with most Toyota cars. Yeah, there's nothing. Energy flow is the only thing you will be excited to see. And then if you're a little bit more excited, then you can probably come into the customized menu here, because you can get into illumination, get into themes. There are multiple themes. I think there are 14 themes, and there's custom as well, which lets you change the color, the ambient light color. There are a lot of options here, but that's about it. Which brings me to the 360-degree parking camera of this car. So it's going to do a complete spin right now, just like the case with most of the Maruti and Toyota cars which have a 360-degree parking camera. Although the car color is right, there is no sunroof visible here, at least, which is a bit disappointing. It has got, I think, a 3-zone climate control air conditioning. Heated steering is there. It also gets heated front seats and ventilation as well. Both the front seats get heating and ventilation. And the AC has touch controls, but you can increase or decrease the temperature from here. Very premium knob. Let's turn off the air conditioning. Air conditioning is an absolute chiller. Front and rear defoggers have been placed here. Nano EX, which actually reduces the bacteria in the cabin to have a more eco-friendly feel. And then you slide it like this to operate the gear lever. Now, once I've come into reverse, the mirrors automatically went down. This is the 360-degree parking camera. What is this button? I think you can clean the camera as well. Oh my god, you can clean the rear camera too, which is super duper cool. I didn't expect that to happen. And there are multiple views. Obviously it has got adaptive guidelines, which is nice, but the screen is boring. You will have a physical button here, which is obviously for the volume control, hazard light, AC vents, wireless charging pad, two USB-C charging sockets. There's some storage space here, twin cup holders, and there's this for the smartphone or for the key. I don't know. I think probably it's for the key. Yeah, the key slots in there, but it's going to move it. It's not exactly the size of the key. Piano black finishing here. The wireless charger seems to be decent in terms of size. This is the electric parking brake, EV mode, traction control, eco mode, and this is for auto hold. And let me quickly put this awesome tag right here from Involve Your Senses, because once I do that, all I need to do is spray it twice to bring instant freshness in the car, which means I'm actually searching where have I kept the perfume right now. I'm a bit confused because this car is actually making me very confused with so many features now. This is a very long video. I know. I'm so sorry for the longness of the video. All you need to do is spray it twice like this, and it brings instant freshness in a car which is the size of the Vellfire. Meanwhile, I like the fact that this has a storage space which opens from both the sides. You can open it from there as well. Very Mercedes like. 12-volt charging socket, USB-C, HDMI. HDMI has been put so many places. Look at this. This is actually big enough. Lot of storage space in this car. This is not a car, I told you already. This is a cupboard. This is to turn on the vehicle. The steering wheel feels nice to hold. It has got multiple buttons. Not too many buttons, but decent amount of buttons. Adaptive cruise control, and this is basically cruise control switch. Meanwhile, automatic headlights, automatic wipers as well. The horn is decent. That seems to be a 12.3-inch screen, which can be operated very easily. There's a lot to look into here, so I can actually change the cluster mode like this. Thankfully, it sort of makes me feel that it's a regular cluster with sort of a tachometer, so you can get a lot of information. But since this is a hybrid, it doesn't really have the excitement which you expect from a car, like a tachometer and all. Yeah, this is better than the Camry's cluster. Yes, I drove the Camry in this very spot itself. Let me turn off the car. As soon as I do that, the seat actually moves behind. It says check rear seat. Let's open the door. It says turn lights off. Let me turn on the vehicle, and there it has a blind spot alert as well. The seat moved ahead. Let's turn on and off the car again. The Toyota logo comes here super duper slow, and as soon as I turn on the car, it sort of does a swipe up thing as well. This takes 3 business days to load because the command goes to Japan, then it wakes up, and then it shows me the Toyota logo. Actually, the car is confused. It's like, should I show you the Maruti logo or should I show you the Toyota logo? Obviously, I confirm all this. Just let me get into the infotainment system. JBL tweeters right there. They are like 3 kilometers away. This is so big now. It's so big. It's absolutely baffling. That's why I'm worried. How do I even drive this car? Because it's just massive. But one gripe I have with Toyota cars is that using the key, I can't roll down all the windows. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with the fact that I can't roll down all the windows using the key. So I'm going to keep this button pressed and the windows don't roll down, which is kind of sad. It doesn't even happen in the Camry. However, I can open the side doors by pressing a button here. There it opens. So there's so many ways to open the door. It's a bit excessive how many ways you can open the door with, but it's all about the driving experience because it's a big fat van. Can you even drive and maneuver this? Because the size is really intimidating. That's the reason it is best chauffeur driven. Meanwhile, if you notice, you can slide open the doors from here as well. How many ways to open and close the doors? Toyota is like, yes, we will confuse you. In fact, I can put the seat back from here. So if I've slid the seat, I can actually put it back into position. Look at that, the seat is moving using controls here. So the driver has a lot of controls and has memory function. He can save up to 3 people's settings here as well. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Trust me on this. This is the luxury car which needs to be assembled in India, because if it is, oh god, I got scared. The car turned on its own. It automatically randomly keeps turning on when it feels that the battery needs juice, which actually reminds me that the battery is not just positioned below the co-passenger seat, it also seems to be below the driver. Yes, so it has this Omni characteristic because the Omni has the engine right below the driver. Here we have the battery. Different taste, but similar outcome. Another hidden thing happens to be cup holders here. USB-C charging sockets right there. I don't know why I did not question lack of USB-Cs here. Toyota will obviously give it somewhere or the other. In fact, there is a hook here which opens smoothly, which can take 4 kgs of weight, and this nice grab handle as well. It even says Vellfire right there. Meanwhile, if someone is not seated on that seat or either of the seats, you can't adjust the seat. It says there's no one on the seat, so we are not going to be able to adjust the seat at all. And what is this button here? This is another button to move the seat. How many buttons do you need for one function, Toyota's like, yes, we are going to do as much as possible. And for seat ventilation and all, you have to press this button. So you have to get into the smartphone to actually operate that. Every time you sit in this car, you'll discover something new, which is kind of baffling because Toyota is usually known to be allergic to features. But here, they've given it everything other than the freaking kitchen sink. In fact, when I went to the rear, I also realized there's actually a rear wiper washer which has been hidden under the rear spoiler. You can't see that as well. So Range Rover-ish and bettering the Range Rover almost in every aspect. Meanwhile, this is where the spray actually comes out to clean the rear parking camera. Why will the rear parking camera even get dirty? Doesn't matter. Let's go. All right, let's turn on the car. Finally, it's time to start driving. There it turns on. Straight away, we are going to change the drive mode, but there is no drive mode. There's just an eco mode here. I thought it'll have a sport mode. We come into drive. It's still deciding whether it wants Suzuki or Toyota logo to come right there. I'm going to continue here. And I'm actually going to put the most important display, which I feel is the energy flow in this car. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. We are going to be testing the 0 to 100 km/h acceleration of this car. Should I turn off the traction control? Yes, I shall. Traction control turned off and off we go. It says accelerator and brake pedal pressed simultaneously. Traction control kicks in at around 60 km/h and 0 to 100 km/h takes 9.23 seconds, which isn't bad at all. This is a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine. This is a hybrid. It is actually the 4th generation hybrid, not the 5th generation. The latest one is obviously in the Camry, which actually gets a lithium-ion battery. This one is using a nickel metal hydride battery. You have to slow down over bad bumps because the ground clearance is not the best. Now, the good thing about this car is it's very comfortable. The suspension is soft, which means it kind of glides over the worst of roads, and the steering is actually light. Only thing is the size is huge and the dashboard is so huge now that sometimes when the front wheels cross, you are still behind, maybe in another city. That is how long this car is, which is quite unbelievable. The engine is very smooth and refined, but it becomes very vocal as you get hard onto the throttle because this car is having an ECVT gearbox, because of which there's obviously the rubber band effect. It actually glides through. Ride quality is just amazing, and the steering has decent feel and feedback. It's not the best in terms of feel or feedback. The horn is okay, but it's not the best in terms of feel or feedback. It's not supposed to be because of the weight, which is more than 2000 freaking kgs. This is an extremely heavy car. And I'm just going to make a change to the cluster mode because I can. It's a bit confusing to operate this. Why can't it be better? It's showing me heads up display position. Now I think this has changed. So yeah, this could be a lot better because they've unnecessarily created so much confusion here. That is something which Toyota is not able to nail, the cluster of their cars. It just doesn't feel that awesome somehow. It feels top heavy. There's so much weight. You can feel the heaviness. You can feel the heft as well. And because of the soft suspension, it does move around on big bumps as well. High speed stability is decent for something which is like a refrigerator with 4 wheels attached to it and all the comfort and luxury in the world. The ride quality is better at the rear for sure, and that is where the whole stress or focus is of this car. There's an eco drive mode if you want better fuel efficiency, but the claimed economy is great at almost 20 km/h. I think 19.65, somewhere around that. Taking a U-turn is kind of effortless, but the turning radius is quite a lot naturally, and there the camera automatically turns on when it detects that I'm around something. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. We are in eco drive mode, so we'll come out of this right away. So this car makes 193 horsepower and 240 Newton meters of torque, which is okay, but this one is front wheel drive, unlike the previous one which was 4-wheel drive, because the electric motor used to drive the rear wheels there. So it was an electrically powered 4-wheel drive system. This one not so much. It has a 60-liter fuel tank, which is decent size actually, and it is underpinned by the TNGK platform, the same one as the Camry. In fact, I just call it a Camry van. But why is this super expensive when compared to the Camry? The Camry is like 57 lakhs. This is 1.59 crores. So 1 crore more for this car. Actually 10 lakhs cheaper if you opt for the high variant. This is obviously the VIP executive lounge, which costs 10 lakh rupees more with those crazy rear seats. The reason for the high pricing is this is a CBU, which means 21 lakh rupees is obviously going in the registration of this car. 4.25 lakhs is going for the insurance for the first year, and the Camry, being a CKD, is a lot more attractive in terms of pricing. I never knew that day would come where I would say the Camry's pricing is actually attractive, but then there is little competition to this car. The other one is from its own sibling, which is the Lexus LM, which costs a lot more. The pricing of the Lexus is just crazy just for the Lexus logo, because this car offers you all the comfort and luxury in the world. Let me quickly change the cluster mode here, the third display which has the compass there. So again, not much for the driver to engage with in terms of the displays. That's the only problem. It has got level 2 ADAS, forward collision warning, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking. It has all that. Naturally, it is known as Toyota Safety Sense. And I like the fact that there's so much glass area which gives me a great view of what's around. But this is not a car you would like to push hard and fast, because this car is not about speed. It's about comfort, luxury, and definitely refinement as well. And being electric, it can go on EV only mode, which I will try right now. I press the EV only mode. It is never available for me. Anyways, with EV only mode, it will go like 1.5-2 kilometers, not more than that, because the battery is like really very small. This battery would be around 1.5 kilowatt hour, nothing more than that. That's a very small battery, but that battery works its magic quite well to ensure that this car is extremely efficient. I don't know why adaptive cruise control turned on. It has got adaptive cruise control. It has got so many things inside, which is absolutely unfreaking believable. And it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel its weight somehow. At least when you're turning aggressively, it doesn't feel its weight. But obviously, you're not supposed to corner it hard. And it's time to go again. There's actually a sport mode as well. We're in sport mode and off we go. Okay, I can feel the traction control trying to intervene. The light is also blinking there. This car is also available with a 2.5 litre turbo petrol engine abroad. In fact, it's available in 3 colors. There's white, there's black, there's I think silver or grey. And there are 3 interior color options as well. So this is the black one. There's also a beige one. There's a brown one too. And this car actually was first launched in 2008. This is in its 3rd generation. Meanwhile, the Alphard is in its 4th generation. So how does this actually work? So the Alphard and the Vellfire are now the same cars, the exact same cars. The Alphard came first. With the 2nd generation, they also got the Vellfire. Vellfire actually means passion. So Vellfire has well coming from velvet and fire coming from passion. So it's a smooth passion or velvety passion, whatever that means. Toyota knows better. But Toyota wanted to discontinue the Vellfire brand name altogether because they have the Alphard. What's the point of having 2 same cars with different names? But dealers gave a lot of pushback. Dealers are like, no, you're not going to do that, because why should you stop Vellfire when we know we have built so much marketing around that particular brand in certain countries. Like in India, nobody knows the Alphard. There are people who have the Alphard, nobody knows it other than Toyota enthusiasts. Meanwhile, people know the Vellfire because now this brand is obviously known to be something which offers comfort, luxury for a lot of money for a Toyota, obviously. And in sport mode, the car kind of feels alive. Sport mode for the gearbox. Paddle shifters, they don't do much. Bump came there, I didn't feel it. Only trying to make shift, yeah, it will just keep denying it, and there is no manual control here either. But the tachometer is turned on, which is so freaking revolutionary, and it just holds on to the RPM. It doesn't go any further. This way, you're not going to get the claimed fuel efficiency, which is, by the way, 19.28 kilometers per liter, which is actually impressive because in the real world, you can easily get double-digit numbers, somewhere between 10 to 14 kilometers per liter, depending on your driving style. I find it so cumbersome to operate. I want to make changes. I don't know why I'm not able to make it. Yeah, these buttons definitely feel cool, but I ended up turning on the voice commands there. So let's get out of this menu and let me get into another menu. And whatever I'm trying to do now, I'm doing the exact opposite here, which makes me want to do the wiper test. Huge wipers, lot of spray as well, because obviously the windscreen is massive as well. Yeah, I've never seen such a big windscreen. Has Toyota applied for a patent saying that they make the biggest windscreen in the world? I think this is an amazing spot to do the 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration test while braking this nosedive. And then I'm just going to reset it. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. It pushes you back. That's the kind of acceleration. Not really. It's the suspension which is soft, because of which the car squats down from the rear. 8.77 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is not bad at all. So it is going to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour between 8.5 to 9 seconds, which is actually impressive for something this heavy. Obviously, it gets top rating from any safety agency because Toyota makes really nice cars. They've done great in terms of the insulation, so you can't hear much sound on the inside. Now, if you're on a budget, you can get the mini version of this car, which is right there. Maruti can launch its own version of the Vellfire, but why would they do it when they have something like this, which kind of serves the purpose itself? My jokes are getting stupid by the minute, so let's get going ahead with a lot more enthusiasm. I like the sporty sound. For me, the sound is definitely sporty, but for other people, they will be like, "Arey, this is just the rubber band effect," which technically it is. And here we take a quick U-turn. The hybrid system works fantastically well. Toyota does great hybrids, and that's the reason they are not committing to electric, because they know hybrid is way better than an electric in almost every possible way. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. I don't know why traction control keeps turning on, But why did they get the Vellfire if they only wanted to sell the Alphard? Actually, with the second generation of the Alphard, they decided let's have a sportier version of the Alphard. So they came with the Vellfire. In fact, in China, it is known as the Crown Vellfire. So yes, they are having multiple names for the same cars in multiple countries as well. But that's the Toyota way of doing things, because they have so many models and we only get a few in India. But trust me on this is absolutely unbelievable. What a freaking awesome car. The Lexus costs around maybe 70-80 lakhs more. It's very expensive, the LM, but I'll do a detailed video on the LM as well. I will go hunt an owner, find the car and do it, because Lexus India doesn't have a car. This car also is coming courtesy of a travel agency to me, who were kind enough to lend me this car so that I could give it the beans. So yeah, Toyota's like playing on the demand supply game, saying that we don't have any car, the demand is so high, but for the price it's an expensive car. But the kind of reliability which Toyota can offer and the kind of luxury it has, it's absolutely unbelievable. Let's do the acceleration test. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. We are in sport mode and off we go. That's 0 to 100 in 9.3 seconds. The brake test. Oh, brakes are sure-footed, but yes, you can feel a lot happening here. So guys, this is my video of the Toyota Vellfire. Around the corners, it's definitely a handful. It's not supposed to be dynamic in any way, but it's a lovely car. It's smooth, it's refined, and we need more such cars from Japanese automakers. Okay, this is making noise, telling you that you should definitely get yours with a 10% discount. Click somewhere on the top right corner of the screen right now. I'm going to do the most difficult thing in the world, which is take a quick U-turn, which will also entail me going into reverse, because there's not much space here. Yeah, the steering is actually light. I love the Vellfire. I think it's a phenomenal car. What a car. Absolutely unbelievable. Toyota can do magic, but they're stuck rebadging Maruti cars. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Bye-bye.